lecturer, this is our presentation for the final assignment. We do this one of a Trung Nguyen brand. Now we will come up with the introduction about the pesto, the SWOT analysis, and the 4B, and the last one is about the action plan. This campaign we name as the Time Taste Coffee. So let's come up with this.
Okay, I will introduce you our introduction. Trung Nguyen was established on 1996 in Đắk Lắk province. In 1998, the first shop set to Ho Chi Minh City, and it's very important to stay for Trung Nguyen to become more famous coffee shop chains throughout Vietnam and other countries in the world. And Trung Nguyen is cooperation with land business from this file like manufacturing coffee, processing coffee, and distribution coffee. And Trung Nguyen is known as the largest brand in Vietnam, and is also export its product more than 60 countries and have a supply of more than 50 billion cups coffee. When the Trung Nguyen do the buy test, 89% of people choose more tasty than the foreign leading brand. And also our mission is to create the brand name to providing people enjoy the coffee creative, the inspiration and proud of our Vietnam culture in terms of the Trung Nguyen style. And also that our vision is to become a corporation that promotes the goal and as well as the trans-independence of Vietnam economy, the lives and proof of the diet discovery and contest. Okay, let's start to the next part 2. Situation analysis. The market change segmentation for Trung Nguyen divide into 4 sectors, which are the geography, by geography, demographic, and social culture. The first one, geography. Trung Nguyen more than 60 countries in Europe and Asia. The mostly is located in the city, specifically like in malls and tourist spots where are crowded and have a great number of people that they need to pay for their product. And beside Vietnam, also sold in the convenience store. And the next one is by geographic. Vietnam products are commonly a good coffee and friendly environment. So under the as no knowledge about good and environment problem, now Vietnam Trung Nguyen is option for the user choosing their coffee to means taking and caring for the environment. And the third one is demography. Trung Nguyen are commonly high quality and the middle price product. So under demographic segmentation, the middle low to income people are focused like the potential customer who would like to drink and spend the money to their product. And the last one is social culture. Each region has a own taste. The Trung Nguyen have like innovated to make their products and list more variety by basing available materials for local areas. And the next part is target market. Trung Nguyen coffee aims is serving a good ingredients without any discrimination and makes their product target like gender, age, and the taste. Therefore, old generation like to love to drink the traditional coffee, but young people and young generation love the sweeties. And next part is market summary and products offering and critical issue. Trung Nguyen coffee are more attract the people toward this city, which will help to attract more customer. And currently, the area is served with a coffee shop to serve the customer with the best product and service. And Trung Nguyen also will provide delivery service like of delivery, the hot and the cold beverage. for the customer, such the latte coffee. This young generation love the enjoyable moment, and Trung Nguyen also cannot control the brand name because it's too tradition and so on. And the next part is target customer, market trend and goals. The current situation of business. Trung Nguyen has space in many countries in the world and have quite highly production. It might be reduced cost of the current market to internet use brander and use like stop Trung Nguyen coffee to gain a powerful presence of international market. And the last part is SWOT analysis. Strength. Trung Nguyen is a well-known brand in Vietnam. It's a suitable for Vietnamese. Like for the first company using the franchise of coffee in Vietnam, the Trung Nguyen coffee is wide distribution. It also has a lot of breadth in the market and building in the brand. And the weaknesses is Trung Nguyen usually change their package style bonder that make customers like difficulty. They franchise their brand too much that makes them not controlled. There are many coffee shops in Vietnam. And the next one is opportunities. They are protected by state and they are the Trung Nguyen joined the PPT AEC that Vietnam is recognized one of the biggest country export of coffee beans. And the last but not least of the trade, there are a lot of strong competitors entrants in Vietnam such as Starbucks, Highland and the coffee house. Their product is easy to substitute and loss of the market share and loss of the internal orientation, confusion of policy and strategy as well as management.
Now we will talk about the 5 foxes analysis. First of all, the power of supplier. The number of suppliers will determine the competitive pressure, their negotiating power for the industry and the business. If there are only a few large-scale suppliers in the market, this will create competitive pressure that will affect the whole business sector. However, at present, Trung Nguyen has a very effective production system, whereas the raw materials used for instant coffee production as well as other types of coffee are derived from the farms that Trung Nguyen owns and manages. In other words, Trung Nguyen is the input supplier for its production. Therefore, competitive pressure for suppliers is a problem that Trung Nguyen does not face today. Next, we'll go to the power of customer. Customers are a competitive pressure that can directly affect the entire production and business of the industry. For soluble coffee products, this is considered as a convenient product. The engine is not high, so the customer's negotiation capacity is low. Next, we'll move to major competitors in the industry. Referring to Trung Nguyen's main competitors, we can mention the following companies. First is the Nescafe of Nestle. It is the world's leading instant coffee brand with 70 years of history. In Vietnam, this brand has become familiar to most people and is one of the brands with high market share in Vietnam. At present, Nescafe has a factory producing instant coffee with a capacity of 1,000 tons per year, which allows the company to meet the needs of customers. Next is the Vina Cafe of Binh Hoa Coffee Choice Stock Company. It started production in 1979 and now is a coffee company with a high market share in Vietnam with a lot of experience. With a factory producing instant coffee with a capacity of 3,000 tons per year, Vina Cafe has become the largest enterprise in terms of production capacity and leader in instant coffee production. Thus, along with Nescafe, Vina Cafe is considered the most formidable opponent that Trung Nguyen has faced so far. Last example is the McCoffee of Food Empire Holdings. It is 3-in-1 coffee brand first appeared in Vietnam. The early years of the 1990s witnessed revolutionary changes in Vietnam. To keep up with the progress of the times, Food Empire Holdings has launched Mock Coffee, an innovative product that has contributed to changing the way consumers drink coffee. Being the first 3-in-1 coffee brand to appear in Vietnam, with a unique blend of premium coffee beans, ice cream, and sugar, Mock Coffee brings convenience to coffee lovers. The fourth factor is about potential competitors. First is about Starbucks. As the world's biggest coffee house company, Starbucks continues to lead the industry in sustainable business and innovation. It can provide a cheaper alternative to its user to maintain the customer base and can have the significant advantages over its rival companies. It produces various kinds of drink, not only about coffee but also about other types such as juice, smoothie, and green tea, and so on. And next one is about Highland Coffee. It is a well-known coffee shop chain. The brand belongs to Việt Thái International JSC and owned by Mr. David Thái. Knowing the taste of Vietnamese people, Highlands Coffee decides to develop different kinds of product lines to attract customers from every group ages. Besides, Highland provides not only diverse types of drinks but also various food. Customers can order a drink and a cupcake or a bread to use with. The last factor is the alternative products. Alternative products and services are products and services that can satisfy the demand equivalent to the products and services in the industry. In addition to using instant coffee, consumers now have a choice of coffee and recently the appearance of soluble coffee. We can mention the canned coffee. In recent years, Vietnamese consumers have begun to become acquainted with canned cafes that can be taken immediately without mixing. This type of product attracts many people because of the convenience and fit modern life busy. Speaking of instant coffee, we can mention the following products: the Birdie canned foodstuffs distributed by Ajinomoto Vietnam Company, the Cafe Soluble Can VIP of Tân Hiệp Phát Company, and the Nestle Soluble Cans. Next one, the alternative product is milk tea. Following the popularity of takeaway drinks, different milk tea brands are now trying to establish themselves in the minds of Vietnamese customers by investing in outlets with attractive designs and quality beverages. We have some milk tea brands such as Gong Cha, Koi, and Chatham, and so on. Okay, now we've moved to the pastel analysis of Trung Nguyen Coffee. The first factor is about political factor. Political factors have a great impact on the opportunities and threats in the Vietnamese coffee industry. Coffee is protected by the states in terms of benefits and trademarks, supports the cost of production, and facilitates export to foreign countries. Besides, the state establishes coffee associations to manage and develop coffee, understand the policy lines of the party, protect each other from monopoly acts, market disputes that infringe upon the interest of enterprises, and protect the interest of Vietnamese coffee in the market. With the accession to the WTO, the Vietnamese coffee industry has taken a new turn. Especially Trung Nguyen Coffee has been known not only domestically but also in foreign markets, creating more development orientations. Next factor is about economic factors. The economic growth rate of our country is quite high, creating opportunities for Trung Nguyen to expand its production and business activities. However, the current economic situation in Vietnam is quite unstable growth rate, but accompanied by high inflation, depreciation of the currency causes different difficulties for many business activities of Trung Nguyen, especially in the procurement of raw materials. At present, the state allows enterprises to set their own interest rate, leading to relative high interest rate from 16% to 80%, causing capital rotation difficulties. Next factor is social factors. Trung Nguyen has a prominent advantage. It is located right in Bumethun, a home of coffee. It is easy for Trung Nguyen to create a similarity with the coffee suppliers as well as to easily create the characteristic of Vietnamese coffee in each of its coffee products. So it is also essential to other competitors when building sales relationships and brand image. Next one is the technological factors. The market for equipment and machinery for coffee production is not diversified due to the absence of new technologies. Hence, technological innovation pressure to increase competition for Trung Nguyen is negligible. Next factor is about legal factor. In 1998, the government allowed private firms to import fertilizer. In 1999, they removed quantitative import restrictions and quotas. In order to reach the high productivity, the government deleted the taxes on using groundwater for growing coffee in Đắk Lắk. Therefore, they decreased the irrigation time and production costs and increased profits and productivity more effectively. The exchange rate is adjusted significantly by the government in order to help the coffee business suffer from the crisis less than other countries which has lower exchange rate. The last factor is the environmental factor. With tropical climate, Vietnam is the best place for country planting. In 2012, Vietnam is the largest coffee exporting country all over the world. That is the advantage for developing coffee in Vietnam. However, it faces the following environmental external factors: business sustainability trend, growing popular support for responsible sourcing, and growing popular support for environmentally friendly products. The business sustainability trend focuses on business processes that ensure minimal environmental impact. In relation, responsible sourcing emphasizes corporate social responsibility in the supply chain. Trung Nguyen has the opportunities to enhance its performance in this area. It also has the opportunity to offer more of its products in recyclable packaging.
About the objective strategy of Trung Nguyen want to put the company on the international stock exchange, and it's also want to build a coffee empire in the next 10 years. Second, it's want to expand the coffee store network, and finally, it's want to become the world leading food and beverage company. Second is about the financial objective of this company. According to the table, if you can see on the slide, after 5 years working from 2011 to 2016, G7 have a stable sales growth rate about 18% per year. So it means that according to our prediction, in the end of this year, 2017, it will achieve 219 million VND, and in the end of next year, 2018, it will achieve 258 million VND. For the strategic positioning of Trung Nguyen, Trung Nguyen Coffee is grown and produced at the processing facilities in Vietnam using the best advanced technology, and according to the newspaper Saigon Time Daily, Trung Nguyen Corporation hosted a training course for 1,500 farming households to cultivate coffee in 2,500 hectare area follow the OSH standard. And this is also one of strategic activity of the company to improve the raw material, the quality of raw material, and make a new special coffee product. And second is that it used cheap labor cost to ensure the low cost production. And finally, it's about the foundation of this company. Trung Nguyen have 3 factories operating now, once in Lâm Đồng, once in Bình Dương, and once in Đắk Lắk province. And in 2009, there was a facility planning is under construction, and it's in Buôn Ma Thuột city. It was supported by an investment of over 40 million USD. G7 is a famous instant coffee in Vietnam because more than 10 million Vietnamese households are using this kind of product. And because of the traditional and Vietnamese lifestyle, G7 easily captured the mentality of Vietnamese customer through a strong expression of the ethnicity. And that is also the thing that most of Vietnamese people are very proud of. Second is that G7 stand for the success of Vietnamese. In every activity, G7 play an important role as a flavor to inspire customer. So G7 proud of themselves because it can companion with Vietnamese people through successful path. Finally, G7 is not the mixture of chemical, that is the symphony of taste. And G7 proud of themselves because it can deliver the whole original taste to its customer, which totally different from other competitors who are using ingredient to adjust the sweetness and the bitter of the coffee. And while using G7, you can realize that the bitter of the coffee, besides you also can smell a strong coffee smell of the coffee, you also can sense the feeling of soy, wind, and fog. And you will feel the bitter taste at the beginning of the tongue. However, you also can feel the sweetness of the end of the tongue. So that's the sweetness that G7 want to transfer to its customer.
Okay, so the 4B program of the Trung Nguyen Coffee begin with the target customer, the people who have coffee like the habit every morning, because the taste of coffee of Trung Nguyen is very strong and make people awake. The people from 18 to 35 who have the BDC income, it means just a meal, and the one who dare to success, they are willing to use coffee. Before 2003, the instant coffee market in Vietnam is compared like a cake with the 130.75 million VND, in which Nescafe and Vina Cafe take the 2 biggest pieces, with more than 55% for Nescafe and more than 30% for Vina Cafe. So on the 30th of November 2003, at Independent Palace, Trung Nguyen held an ultimate festival to hold G7. And in the 2012, Trung Nguyen announced the research data from the world leading research company. In 2011 and the first quarter of 2012, G7 is leading in instant coffee market. It's home nearly 40% of this market. So Trung Nguyen is very successful with this instant coffee market, but the issue of this brand is that they don't go along with what they say. The message which they launch has made nonsense. So with the objective of bringing the traditional into the coffee of this brand, but with a new fashion, a new clothes, a new way. So we let everyone who value Trung Nguyen as a brand of interaction, of working, will have the strategy of the 4B, like the product first. We start with the product, just the G7 3-in-1 instant coffee with the adorable taste and strong efficiency. And with the place, we will optimize the customer service in here, training the staff in every coffee shop very clearly, make the customer come to the shop more comfortable. And for that, we will distribute the sector more allocation in the city to compare with the foreign competitor. And we have to redecorate with that one, because one of the staff in the OQV has said that how can the young people value Trung Nguyen as the brand of inspiration, the brand of working, the brand of traditional with that old color. And furthermore, that is the G7 match, that is the distribution of G7. About the promotion, we will have the practical message to the customer, the audience. We will have the more practical marketing campaign. And about the price, Trung Nguyen Cafe G7 is more than 10% of Nescafe and more than 30% of Vina Cafe, according to the retailer Ring Group. And that is the strategy of the 4B. And now we will move to the action plan.
So in order to develop a campaign for the 4P promotion, we have come up with a campaign starting from the target audience, which is Vietnamese from 18 to 35 who likes coffee and have modern lifestyle. The consumer insight is that Vietnamese nowadays, they tend to have the approach-oriented thinking instead of and overestimate overseas brand names, think of them as the modern trending, whereas the domestic consumption products and the traditional values is being underestimated and ignored. The objectives of this campaign is that to raise the awareness among the Vietnamese youth and early middle age that traditional values are the most significant values and they have last forever. They can never be replaced. And the second objective is to raise the sales by 20%. Therefore, we have come up with the big idea, timing, taste, coffee, and now let's move into detail. In order to go step by step, I have divided our campaign into 3 phases. The phase number 1, teasing. The phase number 2, engage. And the phase number 3, amplify. In each case, there are 6 criteria in order to be met. The objective, the message, key hook, activities, media, and the final one is the KPIs, key performance index. In the first phase, teasing, our message is gonna be tradition lasts forever. The objective of this phase is to trigger a thinking that traditional values, beauty lasts forever. There are a lot of activities here. We're gonna have a viral video, a PR article, and the third one is KOLs sharing and talking. In those 3 the key hook is gonna be the viral video of Ninh Dương Lan Ngọc. I have come up with the idea when when I watch Go Back Saigon. The viral video is gonna be a scenery that I parody from the movie Go Back Saigon. It's gonna talk about the traditional values that still exist nowadays. From culture, we have traditional festival, Tết festival, a lot of festival from the north, the middle, and the south. Then food, we have bánh chưng, bánh dày, and a lot of traditional foods, the others food. In custom, in language, we're gonna emphasize about the traditional, actually the official and traditional language, Vietnamese language. And the final one is the traditional custom, áo dài. It's gonna be presented by Ninh Dương Lan Ngọc. The KPIs We have likes on Facebook, which throughout the channel, Facebook, the views on YouTube, and the clicks views in the PR article is gonna be on the VN Express, Zing, and Kênh. These three channels are very popular among young people. Yeah, and that's why. Come to the second phase, engage. The objective of this phase is to engage the audience with the traditional values that Trung Nguyen conserves and develop. The message is gonna be Trung Nguyen, the tradition guardian. There are 3 activities that we hold in this phase. The first one, as well as the important one, is the coffee street, the PR article, and the third one is social talking with a hashtag. The first KPI is gonna be comment and shares on Facebook about the coffee street that we held. We're gonna hold the coffee street on Hoàng Kiếm Lake Walking Street in Hanoi and Nguyễn Huệ Walking Street in Saigon. It's gonna have a scenery, a lot of like coffee bean and coffee, raw coffee, in order to create the coffee pictures. We have the idea come from the sand picture that now there are a lot of kids play with it. So whenever the customer have the bill of G7 coffee from 50,000 Vietnam đồng, they're gonna get a small cart, and this is gonna be transformed into a ticket for them to have sand pictures in the booth that we place in Nguyễn Huệ and Hoàng Kiếm. It's gonna be we're gonna have a machine for them in order to print the picture out, and on the picture we already have the glue for them to they blend the coffee bean. They blend it and then they do something with it in order to have different color, and then they make their real pictures, and obviously they gonna take a pictures of this and post it on Facebook with a hashtag Trung Nguyen traditional values. I mean that in order to this phase is in order to for people to think that Trung Nguyen is not only a traditional brand, it's also aimed to bring traditional values to the modern lifestyle. The channels is gonna be on Facebook. We focus on the comments and shares in order to show the engagement. VN Express, Zing, and Kênh is also used in this phase for the PR article. We want to see the clicks and views in each article. The other KPIs is also the participants of the coffee street. It is the most important KPIs in order to evaluate the successfulness of this campaign. And final one is the phase amplify. We want to remind that Trung Nguyen protects, maintain, and develop traditional values to a new modern lifestyle level. This message is gonna be awake, David design, Trung Nguyen design. The key hook that we use is gonna be the TVC of ST and Ninh Dương Lan Ngọc. They're two actors that's very familiar, and they have influence in both the north and the south of Vietnam. In this phase, the activities is only the TVC and the KOL talking and sharing. Therefore, the channels that we use is gonna be Facebook, YouTube to have the video, the promotion video, and the final one, the most important one is the mass media, the TVC on VTV1, VTV3, HTV7 and HTV9. In each channel, we're gonna have corresponding KPIs like likes on Facebook, the views on YouTube, and the GRP rating point on TVC. And that's it.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.